Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Or if you have any other significant Pisces placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Pisces, to get started with your reading, I'm getting sort of this interesting download for you. It's from the show The Good Place. If you haven't watched it, I will just briefly summarize it for you, but I'm also going to spoil the ending. But anyway, so The Good Place is a show about someone who dies and they go to the good place, right? But this person realizes that they have been mistakenly placed in the good place because when they were alive, they were sort of bad, right? So that they think that they deserve to be in the bad place, actually, but they've been mistakenly placed in the good place. And so the story just unfolds where she's like trying to hide the fact that she doesn't belong there, that kind of thing. And then eventually, like, part of the story arc for those characters is understanding how to be a better person, basically. Essentially, that's what the show is about. And in the final season, they do end up getting to the good place, right? They find out that the good place has something wrong with it, and that no one has actually gone to the good place in like millennia is actually what they discovered. Anyways, and then they end up in the good place, but when they get there, they realize there's something wrong with it because the people who are in the good place end up sort of like losing their minds, basically. Like they end up in the good place, they have everything that they could possibly want, but their minds become sort of like they can't remember things, that kind of thing, and they're trying to fix the good place, essentially, in this show. And what they discover is that what was wrong with the good place is that there was no exit option. There was no way out of the good place. So even though they had everything that they could possibly want in the good place, like everything, all your wishes come true, everything like that, there was no option to leave, to finish something, right? So there's this interesting energy here for you, Pisces, how that's coming through for you is that endings, right? Endings, being able to end a cycle or to leave a place or that kind of thing is part of what brings us as human beings satisfaction and how else would I phrase it besides satisfaction? Like being able to complete something, right? To finish something, to say this is the end of something, right? So at the end of the show, it's like the main characters all eventually sort of transition out of the good place onto some sort of new adventure, which is really interesting, Pisces, because I actually feel like that's part of your energy. Maybe you're leaving a place that has been very good to you, is how it's coming through. Like, it's very abundant. You have everything that you want, that kind of thing. But there's this energy here of like knowing that you can leave also gives you this sense of like appreciating where you are. I feel like there's something about that as well that's coming in. There's an interesting dynamic there where of like appreciating or understanding that something will eventually come to an end gives you more appreciation for where you are. And maybe it is that you're getting ready to leave a place, but if you're not, it's also saying like to appreciate where you are because eventually it will come to an end, as all things do. But anyways, that's how it's coming through for you, Pisces. Well, now I'm getting two songs. One is All Things End by Hosier, and the other is Too Much by Spice Girls. Very interesting songs to come through for you. Anyways, so we're gonna get started. We're gonna do animals. I don't know if the Alchemy the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck. I was going to use that, but I want to start with animals. Okay, Pisces. Yeah. Butterfly. Butterfly. All things end. All things begin again. There is a significant part of your life that is going through an ending, right? And I actually feel like it's one of those endings where it was a very good cycle is actually how it's coming through. And I'm not saying that whatever it is that you're stepping into is going to be a bad cycle, right? That's not what I'm saying. But it is going to be new. It's going to be a new experience. I sometimes get sort of like an Ace of Swords energy with this. That's how it's coming through today for some reason. Like understanding the truth about like transitions and transformations. There may have been some sort of deconstruction process that maybe you were going through. Because with the caterpillar, I'm kind of get like the entire caterpillar dissolves its original form and becomes reconstructed into a butterfly. So there's something about maybe a deconstruction process that has happened or is happening right now, but that you're being reborn into a butterfly. There is also this interesting energy of okay, no. I just lost that. Okay, so sorry, I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, Pisces. Oh, Scorpion. Interesting. Perhaps whatever it is that you're moving into, this new energy, feels a bit like it's got your defenses up in some way. It's an energy of caution with the stingray, but like fierce determination to move forward is how it's coming through. There may be something about this new energy that you're stepping into that may feel a bit like you're on your guard is how it's feeling. This may also come through, like, because sometimes I see this as being like something triggering, right? It could be something like that. There may be like some sort of trigger that's sort of getting you on your guard. I feel like, though, that is something that went through a deconstruction process for you. Like, it's like some sort of deconstruction process happened already, perhaps in regards to a specific trigger. But even though you've deconstructed that aspect, there's still this sort of, like, perhaps defense mechanism that's being activated, just in case, is how it's coming through, like being alert, right? This is actually a card about passion, actually, from this deck, the Scorpion, like being very passionate, being like really hardworking and moving towards your goals and things like that. There's something about an exoskeleton as well, right? Like the armor or the cocoon, something that keeps you safe and protected. Okay, okay, there's one more card that wants to come out. Yeah, the rabbit. Okay. Interesting. The rabbit. There's some, it's not fear, it's caution. And then you have the whale at the bottom of the deck. Interesting. I'm going to read the rabbit card. If I can find it. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, afraid of everything, overwhelmed, frozen. The rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks about it so loudly, in fact, that one day the eagle hears and thanks him for the great idea. Rabbit energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future, and we become our own worst enemy. We spin up a dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we are lost. Notice your thoughts and words, O rabbit, they shape your destiny. Yeah, interesting. Okay, Pisces. I feel like there's some fear being activated. Like you're activating a fear is how it's coming through. Or maybe you are protecting yourself from an energy that is like that. Because the way that it's coming through, like this, almost looks to me like you're protecting yourself from somebody else's fear. Interesting. So maybe you are protecting yourself from somebody else's fear. Like there could be a rabbit energy around you who is creating a dust cloud is how it's coming through. Creating their own dust cloud and then saying that they're lost, right? So it could be something where like somebody is hyper focusing on a fear, and perhaps you are trying to protect yourself from that a little bit. Like you have your defenses up towards whatever this rabbit energy is how it's coming through. So there may be someone around you who is in this rabbit energy, right? It's coming through a lot with like talking about what it is that they're afraid of a lot, and to the point where it's causing a dust cloud around them. A lack of clarity, perhaps. Something that they're afraid of. It feels like for you, it's not quite coming through like that, Pisces, where, and again, feel free to flip the roles if this is not resonating for you, but it feels kind of like you were in this position where you've gone through some sort of transformation, but you're keeping yourself guarded against somebody else's fear is how it's coming through, because this energy is kind of like with the exoskeleton, like not allowing somebody's dust cloud to cause confusion for you is how it's coming through. Interesting, because this is kind of looking like a lamp now. It's kind of looking like interesting, because what I'm getting with this image actually is like, you know, those fish that live really deep in the ocean with the whale coming through here, those fish that live really deep in the ocean that have a lamp, right? That have like those little light sources that are meant to attract prey, right? Which is interesting, because I'm actually seeing this for you, Pisces, as being like I feel like you are in this position of you have some sort of light or passion or knowing about something with the scorpion that you're trying to shine in the darkness, but it's almost like this rabbit energy is seeing it as being like, oh, that's a predator. That's a predator. That's like something scary. I need to like create this diversion in order to like keep myself safe, kind of thing. But I feel like that's not real, or that's not that's something that you're trying to protect yourself from, perhaps, because this energy with the butterfly is saying that you've gone through some sort of transformation. You have the Ace of Swords. That's what this butterfly is coming through with today, which is really interesting. So I feel like you're actually trying to protect yourself from somebody else's fear. It is coming through as a dust cloud, while also shining a light for them is how it's feeling, but perhaps maintaining distance or boundaries for something. Yeah, interesting. Rotation. You have yellowing at the bottom of the deck, which talks about caution and aging, right? Like something coming to an end. Interesting. Because maybe it's something where it's like you're trying to, like, because if we're going back to that example of the good place, you're trying to maybe convince kind of sounds like a bit too harsh of a word. Maybe, though. Maybe not convincing, but trying to maintain position of like explaining to someone that endings are a good thing, right? Leaving the good place is part of the process as well. I feel like there's something like that. And if it's not coming through as being like a good place, it may just be a cycle in general. Like an end to a cycle is positive, but there may be somebody here who is feeling a bit worried about that ending or worried about what's on the other side of the door. Okay, anyways, I'm going to read this rotation card. The wheel, monotony, and cycles. Rotation is the great alchemical operation of the wheel. Through its circularity, it indicates that work performed again and again produces results. It reminds us that our efforts are cumulative, not singular. Nor is the work ever fixed or finished. Rather, the alchemist rises each day to tend to the laboratory, to weave their work into the world. It is the epitome of the alchemical axiom. I'm not going to read the Latin part, but it says, although changed, I arise the same. This operation is expressed through images of the circle, the spiral, and the Ouroboros, and the wheel. By its non-hierarchical shape, we are tossed back into the spin just when we thought we had it all figured out. Though this stage can be frustrating and cause a fair amount of restlessness, it is at the heart of all spiritual practices. Yeah. It's kind of like, it's very interesting that this rotation card is coming out as I was talking about cycles, right? Because maybe somebody's a bit concerned about something ending. So it could be you, Pisces. Maybe there's a fear about something ending or something coming to an end. Someone may be avoiding that sort of energy, whether that's you or somebody you're connected to, may be avoiding some sort of ending is how it's feeling. But this card is coming out as a reminder that nothing really ends, right? It just keeps going. It's something that repeats. I feel like there is a situation here where it feels like someone is afraid of an ending of some sort. I don't know what that is. So it kind of feels like they're repeating the same cycle. That's not always a bad thing, right? Because this card comes through with this message of like, work happens when you repeat the same actions over and over again. Okay, I'm going to get more cards. Work does happen when you repeat the same action over and over again. But I feel like there's something about like, okay, I think there was a study that was done on like somebody who's trying to learn a new thing, right? So I think it was in reference to like pottery, for example, where they had two groups. One group was given the task of over 30 days. They were only allowed to work on one thing, one jar or one mug or something, and they had to work on the same project for 30 days. So it's kind of like endlessly refining something, right? Like to like mold and remold the same project. And there was the other group was given the task of in 30 days, each day they had to create a new mug or whatever it was, right? So they ended up with 30 different products at the end, whereas the first group only had one product that was worked on over a period of 30 days, or something like that. And they were trying to see which produced a better result. The one where it was one project worked over a course of 30 days versus 30 different projects, one per day, right? And what they found was the group that produced 30 different mugs or whatever it was produced a better end thing. Like by the end of the 30 days, their mug was the best, better than the group that had worked on one project over 30 days. So there's something here about cycles, right? Because it's kind of coming through as being like having to complete a project, right? And then starting that project again actually gives you more information to improve. So it's kind of like versus something where it's like a cycle that just never ends or has a longer period of ending. There's something here about like cycles of time, like, or building a habit or something like that, where I feel like maybe there's somebody who's drawing something out, like drawing a certain cycle out over a longer period of time, like trying to refine something, trying to make it like better without necessarily ending, versus someone who produces more work that's more complete, but perhaps has more flaws, but each time that they start again, or each time that they do something again, it becomes better and improved compared to the first one, right? It's kind of like this opportunity to learn from mistakes and endings, because it's kind of feeling like there's this process here of doing a task to the end, right? To the completion, and then restarting has a lot of feedback that comes through with it, right? Like on how to improve, on like how to make all the steps better. So it's kind of like, I don't know if this is, you're working on a project, Pisces, and it's like maybe there's a hesitation to actually finish a project. And instead of finishing it, you're working on sort of like refining what you already have. And it's kind of like the guidance actually is to finish something, even if it's bad, right? Because the next time you restart and finish, it's going to get better, get easier. I don't know how that applies to you, but hopefully there is something helpful in there for you. Okay, I'm gonna pull more cards. I feel like there's so if this is you, right? This could all be aspects of you. It's kind of like don't delay the endings, right? Because you can always start again, and that will give you a new perspective or more clarity or something like that to improve upon the previous cycle. Don't delay on the endings. Yeah, interesting. This is a card about having access to the wisdom of the trees. Libra's reading from yesterday may have a significant message in there for you, but I'm going to read this one. Because the majority of people are trapped behind the veil of the five senses, most of them have no idea of the amount of knowledge and guidance that is available to them at any moment. Nature is awash with hidden messages and wisdom, especially trees, because they live so long and stand so tall, which allows them a much more expansive perspective than most people can access. While some people seek knowledge in books and universities, you are being called to the forest. Go spend some time with the trees, preferably at night. The trees have many lessons to share with you to help you heal and to lift your spirits. Breathe deeply and direct your exhale on the mottled mosaic of their bark. This will allow you to synchronize your vibration with the tree. This will open you up to be able to receive its knowledge, an ancient wisdom that transcends the cognitive knowing of the mind. I'm kind of getting this energy of like somebody wanting something to be perfect, or like continuously making adjustments on a finished product. like something that's finished is how it's coming through. Constantly making adjustments on something that is done or that is close to being done. Trying to get something perfect. It's like, it's almost better to leave that and start again. Start fresh from something. Because it's kind of like, because I'm getting sort of this energy of trees. Imagine if trees only grew one leaf. And only grew one leaf and kept just adding more energy to one leaf. It's like, it's kind of, it's, which is interesting because I feel like it's something about like quality over quantity. That might be kind of something here that maybe Pisces you're debating within yourself, quality versus quantity. In this case, though, I feel like the more quantity equals better quality, right? Because each time you can improve upon something that you've done before. So doing more of it produces better quality over time. Okay, anyways, there's something about that. Paying attention to trees or symbolism from trees that you may be seeing, or synchronicities from trees that may provide some more insight for you. I'm also seeing like the tree rings, especially in this card. Things that are built over time with experience. Okay, this card talks about inspiration. Interesting, okay. Land, animal, star, and fire, tribal fire, moon. Sacred communication weaves connection within the tribe. Communication becomes sacred when we speak from the heart instead of speaking from the mind. Words spoken from the heart activate the great flames that connects us all. Words spoken from the heart spark remembrance of our unity. Words spoken from the heart heal and activate, inspire, and harmonize. Give voice to your emotions with language sourced from your heart. It's not about sounding smart or educated or grammatically stylish. It's about being true. Give voice to your truth and your vulnerability in service to that great flame of unity, such that it may burn brighter, warming not just you, but your friends, your family, your community, and your soul tribe. Interesting. So I feel like you're being asked to speak from your heart, Pisces, about something. But something that inspires unity of some sort. I get inspiration with this card just because there's the salamander, which comes through with that. Maybe there's some sort of like creative expression that will bring more unity to a situation. Give voice to the truth and vulnerability in service to that great flame of unity. Yeah. So maybe there's something that you you have this butterfly card, which today is coming through with the Ace of Swords. It's about speaking your truth about something that will help to uplift others or inspire others or to create unity amongst a group, right? It's talking about speaking your truth to enhance unity amongst a group. Because maybe there's some sort of energy here with this rabbit. I feel like that's not you, Pisces, but it may be, of somebody perhaps within a group or a family or friends or whatever who is constantly in this sort of like dust cloud of their own making that comes from fear, right? Like it's an expression of worry, of concern, of fear of something and feeling lost because of that fear. So maybe there's something that you can do to help this person. I feel like right now you are guarding against them for whatever reason. With the scorpion right in the middle, it feels kind of like you're guarding against this energy. But maybe there is something that you can say that could help this person sort of become more calm within their mind space about a fear that they have. Because I'm getting, again, with the good place, this energy of one of the characters named Chidi. He's always like debating sort of like what is the best decision to make, overthinking every single simple decision. Like something like I think there was like a couple of scenes, like a running joke between that show, within the show, of like choosing almond milk over any other kind of milk, and the ethical like the ethical dilemma of the ecological impacts of choosing almond milk over any other kind of milk. What's coming through here is actually kind of this energy of overthinking something to the point where you cannot make a decision, right? Or something where, because his fear actually was that he would make the wrong decision that would be something that actually ended up in the bad place, right? Like his fear was like making the right decision. That's what was his fear, which actually ironically ended up being the thing that ended up can't speak today. That fear of him trying to avoid ending up in the bad place was what actually caused him to end up in the bad place. The constant overthinking. What if I do something wrong? What if I choose the wrong thing? What if I'm not a good person? Is what ended up putting him in the bad place. There's something here about that. Someone's like fear of overthinking, of like trying to make the right decision, is putting them in a place of paralysis, is how it's coming through today with this rabbit. It's like if you constantly repeat some sort of fear to yourself, it becomes true. So there's something about that. Maybe you're dealing with someone who's in that energy. And it's kind of like that is a cycle that has to be broken for sure. Constant overthinking, constant like, what if I do something wrong? There is something here about with these animal cards. So there is perhaps like a significant animal totem that is coming through for you. It doesn't have to be the bear necessarily. It could be any significant animal totem that might be significant for you, that may help you with this energy. Oh, I'm being really drawn to the stars here as well, like the North Star in particular. I don't know what these other constellations are. The North Star is represented by Sirius, which in Harry Potter, of course, is represented by a black dog. I think that's just generally the representation of Sirius anyways, but anyways, I feel like there's just something about like trying to help somebody break through a cycle of overthinking. So because it's interesting, this is an earth card, right? This is an earth card, but for me it comes through a lot with air, of the mind, like overthinking something, of interesting because the eagle's coming out with this card as well, which is Aquarius, which is the mind. I feel like there's something about grounding anxiety, which is helpful, like doing something with your hands or with your feet or with your body that helps to ground anxiety. It is feeling very strongly like creating something though for you Pisces. There may be some sort of like creative outlet that would help with that. Interesting. Ancestor, fire, star. This card talks about going within and connecting with your ancestors, because there's some sort of new seed that your ancestors have planted there long before you were born. Some sort of knowledge, it feels like. Some sort of discovery or truth within yourself that the ancestors are trying to show to you. Okay, interesting, because there's like 4 figures, and each one has a light within their chest, right? So perhaps having to do with the heart chakra, but also this one comes through with the third eye. So there's something about, which was also a theme in yesterday's reading. I feel like for you Pisces, there's some sort of transformation that I feel like are in the process of going through at the moment. That is part of your destined path here. Because it kind of feels like there's something about like, so perhaps this is an energy of an aspect of yourself, right? Like an aspect of your overthinking or your fear about something, where it's like preventing you from closing out a cycle. I still feel like that's not your energy though. Maybe somebody else's fear is preventing you from closing out a cycle. Okay, what is this fear or this rabbit energy? Interesting. Oh, I really love this card. Okay, I'm going to read that one. Land, Cave, and Star. Your trust in the unseen and the faith you have given to the mysteries unfolding in your favor, as you waded through the darkest of hours, have brought you here to a place of great rewards. The spirits are singing your praises, for you were brave enough to trust in the unknown. You found bliss in the darkness and found kinship among the shadow spirits by honoring them along your journey. What was once a realm of darkness and trepidation is now decorated with shimmering jewels and beautiful gems, glistening totems marking your successful efforts to bring beauty and surrender to where fear once ruled. You have overcome so much. Now is the time to reap the rewards of your newfound freedom and of the inner peace and graceful resilience that will enrich your life for the rest of your years. Very interesting, Pisces. Because this is coming out under the rabbit. Because I'm seeing this as being like, there's the exit. There's the exit to the dark times, is how it's coming through. I actually feel like you're leaving a place that was quite difficult with the cocoon, right? The cocoon, the deconstruction of the caterpillar phase, maybe. And it's like, there's the door. There's the door, Pisces. You just need to step through it. And I feel like there's something about, like, there's fear about that. Or if it's not fear, it's like trying to collect all the, maybe this is part of the process of just like collecting the gems of wisdom before you step out into the unknown. It's like making sure you have, well, that there's an energy about that could also be part of the overthinking and the fears. Like, for example, if you're going somewhere, right? Going on a trip somewhere, it's like making sure you have enough things packed, making sure you're not forgetting anything, making sure you have enough food to sustain you, that kind of energy. And it's like you have what you need, Pisces. You don't have to, like, it's like I'm just seeing like a sweep. It's an energy of trying to be prepared for what's ahead, which is not a bad thing. It's trying to be prepared for what's ahead. But I feel like you or whoever this energy is, because it kind of feels like it's like a friend or somebody that you're moving forward with, right? You're moving forward with this person, but they're still sort of in this like, it's not quite fear. It's like wanting to be prepared is how it's coming through. Making sure we have enough for what's ahead. And I feel like there's something here about like, I don't know that you will be able to prepare for what's ahead. In this case, you can bring equipment and supplies with you and tools and things like that. But I feel like there's this energy here of like, you will have what you need in whatever it is that you're going forward with. I feel like you are prepared, Pisces, or this energy is prepared. They might just not be feeling that way. Because there's something about with I can't remember which book it is. One of the guidebooks for the animal decks, where it's talking about like how could a caterpillar ever be prepared for the butterfly phase, right? A caterpillar cannot prepare for the butterfly phase because it's a whole new experience, right? So there's something here about like, imagine if a caterpillar was trying to fly before it had wings, it would never be able to. That's how it's coming through here. It's like this I'm seeing as being the inside of the cocoon. It's like trying to prepare for flight when you haven't stepped through the threshold yet. So it's kind of like it's impossible to do that. It's not that it's impossible. I don't want to use that word, but it's like what you think you will need is not actually what you will need when you're across the threshold. Because it's a whole new experience, right? It's a whole new way of being that I feel like there's no real practical way to prepare for that until you actually have the wings to grow, to fly. Perhaps there are things that you can do to prepare, but at a certain point you just have to jump, right? That's how it's coming through. Okay, I'm going to get one more card for the middle. Power, right in the middle. Yep. This is a lesson about your power, Pisces. Because I was kind of getting this energy. So maybe this is all you, right? Maybe this is all just aspects within you. But take it how it resonates. Where I was kind of getting this energy of like having... being out of your comfort zone, perhaps. Being out of your comfort zone is an opportunity to reveal your true power, is how it's coming through. Because it was kind of feeling like an example of, let's say like you're separated from your family, or if it's something like, you know, knock on wood, but if like you end up somewhere, you are in a foreign country and all your luggage gets lost, right? You don't have anything with you, because it's almost like maybe somebody's preparing. They packed all these things, all these tools and equipment and supplies and things that they need in order to make a trip, but then all of that gets lost somehow. Like you lose your luggage, or something happens where all of that energy, just like all of the things that you prepared for, get removed from you in some way. That is showing you an opportunity for you to know your true power without all of the things to help you, or the things that you rely on, or that kind of thing. So it's kind of feeling like that, Pisces. Maybe you are feeling a bit, or there's a fear about, because it doesn't feel like you're there yet. It feels like you haven't stepped through this threshold of like, perhaps like making a commitment to something. because there's fear about like, what if I don't have enough for what I need when I cross that threshold? Because it's kind of like leaving the good place where perhaps you have everything that you need, right? It's comfortable. But I feel like you are getting ready to leave an energy like that, right? It's stepping into a new, I'm going to read this power card, but it's stepping into a new aspect of your identity is what's coming through, but also your path. Because this deck has 3 cards in it that talk about the lessons that we come to Earth to experience. Love, wisdom, and power. So I'm going to read this one. The power card ties into the theme of discernment. Because the journey of power is all about learning to differentiate between false power and true power. True power serves what is best for others in order for them to adapt and evolve, expand, grow, and amplify. It is the ability to lift people up and to show them what is possible. True power is vulnerable, open, and transparent. It supports that which makes a difference, not just in our own lives, but in the lives of many. When people or institutions try to impose their will onto other beings or to enslave them or infuse them with fear, lack, or division, that is false power. That is straight up misuse of power, and true power will not bow down to that shit. When this card appears in your spread, you know the spirits are offering insight into your own personal journey in the realms of power and are inviting you to refine your discernment accordingly. Okay, Pisces, I feel like whoever this is not you. It actually feels like this is somebody that is part of your path, right? Or they're going forward with you, but they're in this energy right now of overthinking or being afraid to step through some sort of threshold, right? It's like perhaps they're being very over prepared of something. And it's like there's something here where I feel like you can help them to understand their true power, perhaps by uplifting them in some way, or that your power or part of your lesson in power is to, like, with this energy here, share something from the heart that is inspiring to others or that creates unity within a group or something like that. I feel like that would help another person who's going through this to expand. It does feel like an expansion energy here, right? Stepping out of the cave. It's emerging into a place of strength, but also vulnerability as well, as how that's feeling to me. Because it's like the caterpillar is ready to turn into a butterfly, or the butterfly is ready to come out of the cocoon is actually what feels more accurate. The caterpillar phase is finished. Somebody, you or this other, has already transformed into the butterfly. It's time to step out of it now. It's time to step out of the cocoon. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, Pisces. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.